finds me moaning 'cause of all the trouble I see. Life's a losing gamble to me. Everybody knows I'm moaning. Every evening finds me moaning. I'm alone and crying the blues. I'm so tired of paying these dues. Cares and worries got me moaning.
Ortiz, everybody. Tomorrow night's the big night. I'm gonna go back to the new software. I'll be able to pod down music. I can play it under me, and I can do phone calls. So that's the plan for tomorrow. If the new Rumble software works, that's why I had to stop using it because I was having some technical difficulties, shall we say? Let's say it. I just did. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The tickets are live, by the way, for my show. They just went live yesterday. It is September. It is July 25th. Yeah, July 25th, 6:30. I thought it was at 7, but it's at 6:30, Stephanie Fury Theater in Hollywood, California. The show's called Autastic. It's the journey of my son through his autism, which, he's still in, but the real hard stuff. And it's comedic. It's funny. And it's at the Stephanie Fury Theater. It's won some awards. And really, if you have someone, or even if you don't, who's special needs or on the spectrum, I think you'll love the show. It's a good show. And then I do a Q&A at the end of it. So check it out if you can. That's going to be, again, July 25th, Stephanie Fury Theater in Los Angeles, 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $15, so not too bad. They were, first show I did, $10, I think. I don't remember. So there's only $5 more. You're like, hey, how come $5 more? Well, it went from 30 minutes to 45-50. So it's actually a bargain. You're actually saving money. So there you go. Hey, Mark, thank you for tuning in, brother. Thank you. Fresh and Fit are in the house today, but right now it's like Fresh and Fit, and then this Peekaboo Gamer guy who doesn't seem to have a lot of people watch, but they like him. Rumble likes to feature him. I don't know. So he's somebody's kid. Anyway, let's get started. Let's get this party started. Oh, okay. Let me share this. Okay. We'll start with Reddit. And by the way, welcome to Jeff the I didn't do a proper intro to the show. Welcome to Jeff the Unlicensed Therapist, where you can get all your therapy needs done. Whether it's a problem at work, problem with a friend, problem with a wife, problem with a loved one, doesn't matter. You ask on this show. We worked on it as a group. It's free. I mean, maybe you get your insurance to pay half, but it's free. So half for free is still free. So let's get started. Here we go. First one we're going to go to, and this is off Reddit. And by the way, I'm a little more aggressive on the Reddit crew. I'm trying to be nicer. My fiance told me to be nicer to people. I'm trying. But come on, they're Reddit people. But you, if you put stuff in the comments, if you have a real problem, well, I'm very, very genteel, like mint julep genteel. All right, my husband and I just had our first big fight. Really? Your first? No, I can't. I mean, I'm engaged. I'm getting married, I think in September, I believe. And boy, we've had a lot of big fights. We're not even married yet. So for you to not have any big fights is both cool and concerning to me. Usually you have at least a couple. I mean, it's not, don't strive for it. Don't be like, we haven't had a fight. I want to fight. That's no relationship either, but good for you if it's only been this. Okay, you've only been married for 3 months. So maybe you didn't live together before, and now you do. And so that's going to, oh no, you lived together for 4 years. Okay, dated for 5. So that's not it. Let's find out what this big fight's about. You like Spain and he likes Mexico for the World Cup. That, you know what? That could be it. That's about as big an issue as politics. When we were dating / engaged, we split everything 50-50. Okay. I see where this is going. You go 50-50 on stuff married. It's a bad idea, man. Just, you got to kind of loosey-goosey it. You got to look, I'll get this, you get that. Don't hold each other to the exact amount that you paid. It's no way to live. They're not a roommate. They're a loved one. So just, I'll pay for this. And if you wind up paying more, then you wind up paying more. He's going to pay. Just let it even out in the end. It will. But yeah, if you get all hung up on that, that's not good. Let's see how hung up you are on it. We did sign a prenup. See, you guys are very money obsessed. Here's why you've never maybe had any real big arguments, because you've never actually, you're just so like, I don't want to say anal, but maybe type A in terms of you do this, I do that. So there's expectations, and they're generally you meet them and he meets them, and so you're happy. But we shall see. Let's keep going here. When we were dating engaged, we split everything 50-50. Prior to the marriage, we did sign a prenup. I mean, I get the prenup. If one of you is much richer than the other, then I get it. If you're equal, even Stevens, it's I don't know. It's like, well, it's almost like a foregone conclusion that you're going to divorce. And each of you thinks you're going to make way more money than the other. So when you do divorce, you want to keep what's yours. So, but again, if it's some old codger, like some 70, oh geez, I'm getting up there too. Let's make him 90. Some old codger who's like 90 and he's dating let's make it a Bill Belichick and whoever that chick is he's dating situation. Then yeah, prenup is a must. You want your kids to get their money. Like, that chick will take it all. Jordan something. I don't remember what her name is. I do though. I think it's Jordan. We did sign a prenup, but had an open discussion about finance. Well, of course you did. You guys are kind of money obsessed. I guarantee that was your biggest discussion that you had, was about money and finances, because that's what's important to both of you. What our money and finances will look like after we're married. We agreed not to act as if what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. Well, that's good. And do plan to blend our finances eventually. You won't. If you're not blending them now, you're not going to blend. If you're not blending them at the beginning of the marriage, if you're not going in and saying, okay, let's start blending, it's just not going to happen. I can tell you this from experience. My ex, for many reasons, but this is probably one. We briefly tried to split finances, to share a checking account and pay bills out. It was a catastrophe. It lasted for about a month. But we did that like deeper into the relationship. Had we started that way, I think it would have been much easier. We tried it like 3-4 years into the marriage. I think that's kind of a long time to be doing it that way, separate accounts. But I say it worked for us, but here we're divorced. So did it? No, you should really start that right at the beginning of the marriage. But again, we'll keep going. Here we go. Oh, okay, here we go. So there is a difference, a little disparity in the income too. All right, so 3 months and yet maintaining a 50-50 for now. Okay. For added context, there's a massive discrepancy between how much we make. I make 50, he makes 200K. Okay, so there you go. I'd love to know if there's a big age difference too. He's fully aware of this and sees no issue. He understands my career path will likely not lead to that kind of salary. Okay, so cue the trigger of the fight. We moved out of state. We are moving out of state next week for his job. Well, yeah, you better. He makes a lot of money, for which they're giving him a massive bonus, $10,000. It's not really that massive a bonus, but okay. I'm just saying, the guy makes $200K. Compared for you, it's a 50 annual salary, so I get that. But a moving bonus, they're also probably going to tax at 50%, right? Isn't that what they do? I don't know. The idea is in his company's opinion, is that these funds are used for moving expenses. Yeah, that's how it goes. But it's like an insurance payment. You kind of do what you want with it. It's simply a cash payment on his first paycheck. It does not have to expense receipts or anything. Exactly. He booked the moving, got a quote of $5,000, which is what that $10,000 thing will be after taxes, because it's a bonus. When he told me this, I commented how great it is that he's getting a moving bonus. He reminded me that I'm liable for half of the moving expenses. It's a douche move. But again, you guys are all about money, man. Your relationship seems very much about finances and who pays what and this and that. It doesn't seem like a real rich relationship to me. It doesn't seem like a relationship based in love. It's a relationship to me that it seems based in and a relationship that's based in attraction, but not in love. You are more roommates who dig each other than I think people who are just really in love with each other. Maybe you both settled. I don't know. But it's not, I don't love it. Totally about money. And that's it. I think so too, Salty. I do too. Yeah, I agree with him. So yeah, I feel like, it's for the wrong reasons, these two chuckleheads. Can I call them that? Chuckleheads. Let's bring back the word chucklehead. I feel like it's well past due. All right, let me before we get any further, let me do an ad for Rumble Wallet. Speaking of money, and you want your money, see, this is good. This is actually a perfect lead, and we'll get to the rest of this in a minute. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you can actually own and control your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, there we go. Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now, fast forward to today, everybody's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. Takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want. Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoin, or even digital gold backed by real gold. That's cool. I like that part a lot. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card or debit card or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're set up, you can even support your favorite local creators like me directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. It's that easy. In just a few moments, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. So take advantage of that. That's Rumble Wallet. It's right there. Click that QR code right now. You'll be glad that you did. You'll be glad that you did. All right, let's get back to these money, as Salty correctly pointed out, money-obsessed yahoos. I call them yahoos, but you're right about the money-obsessed. Friendly says, normally for a woman who makes a man who makes some more money, yeah, but if it was the reverse, would have seen as beneath marrying. You mean so? Yeah, for the ladies, yeah, I think it happens a lot more than you think, though. Friendly, I think you get like these older women with money, and then they probably don't marry though. You make a good point there. They don't marry, but they have relationships with younger boy toys, or whatever you want to call them, young dudes. Get their sexual needs met, but I don't think they generally marry them. They sugar mama them, but I don't think they generally marry them, do they? Really, dudes, guys, we want a little more control, I feel like. So we actually will marry the 20-something as a 70 or 80-year-old in the hopes of corralling her and keeping her in our stable. That seems to be the world we live in. That's what you see. You see these old codgers marrying these really young girls. You don't generally see older females marrying younger males. You see them hooking up with them, but they're too smart to marry them, I think. Cougars, exactly. MILFs, DILFs, GILFs. I love that whole genre of grandmothers I'd like to, procreate with. GILF. There's a few. Some funny ones. I can't remember them all. Cougars, called cheetah, just like the older ones. There was some funny names for the older ones. I can't remember what they are. If you can remember it, you can throw it in the comments. But let's get back to this. Let's get back to this cash obsessed couple. Whose marriage I don't think is going to really go anywhere, especially now that he wants you to pay for half of it. And you're only 3 months in, so I was completely taken aback. We're moving for his job. Yeah, I mean he should pay for it again, but the fact that he's so nickel and diming you speaks volumes to really his lack of trust in the longevity of your relationship. That's what it says to me. Now I don't, that's what it says to me. Hey, pay half anyway. Really? Why? Why aren't you together for the long term? I mean, you already got the prenup. She gets you only get half of. You don't get anything, right? I guess on the prenup, and you can't. It's a bonus you got anyway, and you're still going to make her pay half. It's like there's that Family Guy episode where he's like, hey, Lois, cook the dinner, but we're not going to eat, Peter. Yeah, I know, but I don't want you to get lazy or lose practice, and he just throws it out. That seems like the kind of husband this guy is. But anyways, all right. So we'll keep going here because it is interesting. Okay, we agreed to okay. Okay. Okay, here it is. Okay. And we agreed 50-50 for now. And I'm being selfish wanting to change all of a sudden. That's what he's saying. He even said that he worries about our financial future together. Forget you guys. Why did you get married? Why did you bother getting married? I mean, I'm assuming you were pushing the marriage, probably for financial reasons. Who would marry this guy? A guy like this, a cheap El Cheapo like this? I think you were doing a little bit of gold digging, whether you want to admit it or not. And I think he is subconsciously or consciously aware of that. And so not only does he have you sign a prenup, he wants you paying half of everything. Because down the road, he doesn't want to look back and go, oh, I should have made her pay for half of the moving expenses. I knew it. I knew I should have done. I don't see a relationship lasting much longer. It feels like a marriage based on money. That's what it feels like to me. And I'd love to know the age difference, which you didn't put in. But I feel kind of certain. Everybody lists the age. Everybody in Reddit always lists their ages. You did not. And I don't think that was an accident. But all right, we'll see. Well, we won't see, actually, because you didn't ever list the age. All right. So I would think I could take ownership of his money. Okay. Okay. He said that he even worries about our financial future together. If I think that I can take ownership of his money. In anger, he even said he should have listened to his friends who told him I was a gold digger. I called it. And I think you are. Whether you mean to be or not. Would you have married this guy who there's no mention of love anywhere in this. I love him. I never saw the word love. I never even saw the word like in here. I think this is purely a financial thing. Maybe you've talked yourself into it that it isn't, but it is. He knows it. You know it. The prenup was signed, and now he seems more certain of it. And he'll keep you on because you're definitely much younger than him. I'm sure of that now because people are calling you a gold digger. And it is what it is. This horrible arrangement that you two have together. This loveless sham of a marriage that you two have going on. Anyway, well, there you go. I'm scared and hurt. He knows $2,500 is a lot for me right now. I think he's the one being selfish. It's not that he's being selfish. He doesn't trust you. He doesn't trust that you love him for him. He thinks you love him for his money. He's uncertain about it, and you're now making him kind of go the other way. And yeah, by the way, it's incredibly cheap. It's a shit move. But it's based, you have to look at what it's based in. It's based in his fear that you are a gold digger. That you, in fact, you want to put this guy's mind to rest. Pay half of the moving expenses and just always pay your half. Over time, he will grow to realize that you really love him. But the thing is, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I think you are in this, whether you want to admit it or not, purely for finances. Would you have married the guy if he made $50,000? If he was the same age, same everything, but instead of making $200K a year, he made $50,000, same as you? I don't think you would have. I think you would have married someone your own age with more common interests, someone who, if you wrote a letter like this, you would talk about the love you have and the things you do together and the way he makes you laugh and the way he makes you feel. You're 3 months into a marriage and you just sound like business partners, and he's doing way better than you. So there you go. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. I don't think I'm too far off the mark on it. Well, there you go. There you go, folks. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. What happens if she gets sick and racks up medical bills? He's going to make her pay for that too. He might. That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, it's just because the whole thing is just based on finances, and he doesn't trust her. His friends all told him too, like, "Hey, she's a gold digger," and I think she did. Salty says, "Wait, Jeff, did you say how long they're 3 months?" Salty, 3 months. Let me go back and make sure I didn't. Yeah. For context, we've only been married 3 months. Now, they've been together for 4 years and dated for 5. We lived together for 4 years. They dated for 5. So, yeah, she convinced him to marry her. He wasn't certain about marrying her, and now he's questioning if he should have married her. And, I mean, it's just a joke. This couple is a joke. I'm sorry. You guys, he wishes you loved him for him, but he's pretty sure you love him for his money. And I think he's probably right, whether you want to admit it or not. Again, would you have married him if he made $50K a year and he was as old as he is and you're as young as you are? Would you have? My guess is the answer to that is no. All right. So, I mean, that's about as basic as it gets. It's not even about, it's basic respect. If you value him, you would stick to the agreement you made, just pay half. You don't respect him. Yeah. I mean, now if this is a marriage based in love, if this is if she's like, I love you, you love me, la 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 la, and the guy's like, yeah, I don't want to pay. You'd be like, why aren't they paying? But it wouldn't make sense to you if you read it that way. You're like, these two people are in love, and he gets a bonus, and he's still making her pay. You'd be like, what the hell? Why would you do that? But she doesn't set it up that way. She sets it up exactly as it is. A prenup, and there's no mention of love, or there's no mention of any kind of emotional connection in the entire thing and the whole thing. And so because of that, I don't think the guy is wrong. Now, if you're in love with someone and it's a love marriage and you pull that, you'd be like, what? That's weird. That's weird. But this to me doesn't seem weird. It honestly seems like the smart thing to do. You shouldn't have married her in the first place, bro. You should have listened to your friends. Anyway, and she don't understand it. But at the same time, I think it's subconsciously she knows. She knows what she's about. She knows what she's up to. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep rocking and rolling. All right, here we go. Let's see. By the way, I'm going to do phone calls tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to regret it. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But I'm going to go to use the new Rumble software tomorrow and try and do phone calls. Am I the asshole? Wait, what's this one? Huh? I'm going to read this one because it doesn't make sense, and I'm curious. Okay. All right. Let's see what it says here. It says, "Am I the asshole for not wanting to wear more period products?" Now, are you talking about like period, like vintage clothing? Like you don't want to dress up in the like a 1920s a flapper? Like turns on your boyfriend? Is that what it is? Are you a Civil War reenactor? Are you a cosplayer? Or are we talking about menstruation? Every person with a period, menstruation, knows that certain products have their spot in the rotation. I know none of this. I'm learning along with the rest of you. I-27 female. See how she mentions her name right away? Mm-hmm. Gold Digger didn't. She's like one of the only. That's the first time I haven't heard anyone mention names of the parties involved. I love to know. He's 70. I'm 22. I had he met me in preschool. Sorry. I had another argument with my husband, 25, about my period products. I've never, ever in my life had an argument over period products. Can you just say tampons, or is that jarring for you somehow? In the last year, my periods have gotten a lot heavier. Oh, brothers. All right. I've been diagnosed with PCOS, so I guess that means you have heavy periods. Yeah. You know what? Sometimes you talk about periods on this show. Well, I don't discriminate. All right, so you keep Better Track. You've been the newish heaviness. I use period panties. Okay, very effective for heavy duty, but I only have 3 pair. Why don't you buy another one? Reusable pads, effective. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mean to get into this, but I guess I did. When I'm getting in bed, he pointed out that I was only wearing a pad, an overnight extra long pad, and insisted that I put something that could handle more blood. He's not wrong. I mean, I don't think he's like grossed out so much as like, fuck, you gotta mess the sheets up, or it's gonna go through the mattress, and then we're gonna always have a stain there. It's just a hygiene thing more than anything. I try to explain that I don't usually bleed that heavily overnight because I'm laying down. Here's the problem with that statement. Don't usually. You said I don't usually. That means that you might. What you say is I don't ever. Then it's like, oh, okay. But you say I don't usually. It's just like, oh, well, then just, do it. Just come on. Just put on the extra pad. Because don't usually means, yeah, tonight might be the night. Come on. Stop it. Just how expensive is this stuff? Can't be that much money, can it? All right. Because you're laying down, I had on one that would suffice. But he reminded me that in the past year, I had bled through twice. See? This is why he's looking at you going, what are you doing? You've already done this stupid shit twice. And then I got to buy all new sheets. And then the mattress, every time I take the sheets off the wash, I got to see that big red. Come on. Cut the guy some slack. But put on an extra, thing. Or I don't know what wrap yourself in gauze. I don't know what you do. Don't do that. So yeah, I'm all right. I am totally on your husband's side so far. When I bled through, I've been wearing pads, but the blood traveled up my butt crack. Fine. It doesn't matter. The path of the blood takes is irrelevant. The relevant issue is that the blood gets on the sheets in the bed. The manner or route Whether it's Lewis and Clark take it across one ass crack to the other to spill it all over the new flannel sheets, doesn't matter. It happens. Anyway, so I agreed. That if I put on period panties, but if I did, I'd be skipping the gym in the morning. This is my last clean pair. Well, just buy some. The issue, here's the issue. The issue is you don't have enough feminine hygiene products on hand. Go buy some feminine hygiene. But this is the whole issue. Your whole issue is scarcity for pads that probably cost, I don't know, $5-10. Come on, tell them to pick them up for you. And look at the excuses you make. I think you might be a little on the lazy side. You don't have, this is going on. You don't have these things handy. How long does Amazon take a day? Come on. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm totally on your husband's side. All right. So you going to the gym bleeding heavily. I explained that when I'm horizontal, I don't bleed heavily, but you've done it twice already. You admitted to it. And that I would be able to determine how heavily I bleed. You don't know. Throughout the day in 15 minutes, I'd use to get ready for the gym. Then I showed him my period tracker and estimated. And we like specifics and hard facts based on how much I bleed when I wake up. Oh my God. So the guy's got to do math now in addition to just slap on up one of these panties. You tell him the next day, go buy you go to Costco and buy like 1,000 of them. And then you can stop belly aching about this. Ay. Should I choose to what products to wear without needing some special justification by that stuff? Yeah, you are. You are the asshole in this one. Your husband is completely right on everything he said. How about that? I agree with him completely. Now, is it because I'm a male? No, I don't think so. Let's say you're a lesbian couple. I'm on your lesbian partner side too, because you are not, you just don't care for whatever reason. I don't know. Cut the guy some slack, and if you're like still mad at him, then make him buy the feminine products. Jeez, joke. Tampons don't expire, but that's true. I'd heard of this thing and I didn't know what it was. Well, this toxic shock syndrome. Have you heard of that? You get it from a tampon, but I guess that's if you leave the tampon in. Which what? Honestly, with this woman we were just talking about, it just doesn't sound very prepared. Doesn't sound. She's been having a period since she was 12, and she seems very ill prepared for the process. Jeff, did I marry a younger woman? LOL. Yeah, I did, Salty. But not really by a year. So, but yeah, we there's no prenup. There's no, there's hey, I need a few hundred for this, or I might be to her, hey, I need a few hundred for that. Whoever's got money at the time helps the other out, if they need it. And then I pay for stuff and she pays for stuff. And, it never comes up. We're both there ready to slap down money. There's no, we each want to pay, you know what I mean? We want, I want to pay and she wants to pay, which can also create a little issue, but it's I think a good issue. No one's holding back. So yeah, I don't understand it. But yeah, we don't, what if I were going to write something about her, what I would never write about her? The finances would never enter into it. I would never talk about a prenup. I would never talk about she pays this and I pay. It just wouldn't. I just be like, oh, I love this woman. And, she makes me so happy. And, that's what a marriage should be based on. Anyway, you know what? Friendly, I agree. Friendly says, I'm so glad I was born a man. So am I. I mean, it just seems a lot easier. And, let's face it, there's gender biases, of course. And if you're going to be a male or a female, it's generally speaking, easier ride as a male. We can go to, we can pee in the snow. We can spell our names. We don't have periods. We don't have to go through pregnancy or birth. We don't have to milk anybody. I don't know. If I were to do it all over again, thank you. I will take this form every time. The only reason I would want to be female would be to squeeze my own boobs in the mirror. But that's how long can you do that for? Before that gets old. I don't know. Ask a lady. All right, let's let's keep going. Oh man, yeah. I mean, what else would you? What else would you do? Squeeze your own boobies. That's what I think. That's what. That's where some of these shows are. I'm not going to ever call my show highbrow, but I'm just going off of what's here. What? Oh, what's this? Comedones? What the? I don't even know what that is. There's a lot of weird stuff. Like, I don't know. Maybe I click on one and they're like, "Oh, you like feminine hygiene stories? Well, you're gonna love, comedones. Is that supposed to be condoms?" Oh, that's an update. All right. It says, "Am I the asshole because I told my 13-year-old son having white comedones on his face is gross?" Comedones? Is that like? Am I so out of it that I don't know? Is that like a thing? What is it? I assume she's misspelling condoms, but why would he have them on his face? I'm just, I want to see if it's something I've never heard of. Oh, they're blemishes. Okay. I never knew they were called that. They're like pimples. Okay. Well, that at least makes sense now. Comedones are clogged hair follicles or pores in the skins forming foundational blemishes of acne. Okay. All right. So that's what it is. I didn't know that. I didn't know. You got to hit me with the zits. That I know. So you told your 13-year-old son having white comedones on his face is gross. You are an asshole. He's 13. He's going through puberty. And what a terrible thing to say to someone. Like, he can control it. And the thing is, that's genetic, generally speaking. So he gets it from you. So if you want to, chastise someone, go have a discussion with yourself in the mirror and say, why am I so defective as to have a child that has comedones? Blame yourself. And there's nothing defective about the child. It happens to, I'm sure I had it. I think everybody has it. But why would you say that to a fucking child? Were you hungry? Were you hangry? Updated by the asshole. I feel bad now that I said that. Yeah, you should. I feel like it was an easily fixable problem with a simple solution, but ultimately that was a terrible choice of words. Yeah, you scarred your poor kid for a long time. You need to do some legwork and apologize and take him to a lot of ice creams. I mean, geez. I'm sad that I said it. Well, at least, you feel some attrition. All right. And that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't need to read much more. You're going to that's like, hey, you got a birthmark or a mole and you look really ugly with your mole to your 13-year-old kid. You didn't ask for the mole. You didn't ask for the comedones. Now, if your kid just slovenly and greasy and never washes his face, then yeah, he's got to take a little ownership of that. But generally speaking, man, that's I can't imagine yelling at my son. I will give my son a hard time if he doesn't pop his it like a whitehead. If this is what the show is tonight. If he's got like a big white head, I'll be like, dude, just scratch it, pop it, just don't get rid of the white thing, and use something, wash it a little bit. But I'm not going to be like, ugh. Yeah, maybe a little bit if it's a huge blackhead. But you know what I'm saying. I'm working with him. I'm supporting him. You're going to look much better, much more handsome when you just kind of scratch that puppy a little bit. It's positive reinforcement's what that is. Am I the asshole for telling my roommate he is a guest in my home? Well, is he? It depends. Is he paying rent? Then he's a tenant in your home. He's not a guest. He's actually a tenant. I don't know. Let's see. Let me see here. Telling your roommate that he's a guest in my home. Maybe you are. I don't know. All right. My boyfriend recently moved into my 2-bedroom. So wait, is your roommate? Okay, we'll keep reading. Let me read this whole thing. Maybe your boyfriend moved in and then you have a roommate. My boyfriend recently moved into my 2-bedroom apartment. Your 2-bedroom apartment. Our original plan was to sleep in 1 bedroom and have him put his clothes and belongings in the guest room because it has a bigger closet. Okay. However, one of his friends recently fell on hard times and asked to stay with us for about a month. Well, he finds a new place. Although I do not know his friend very well, he is good friends with my boyfriend. Okay. I have met him a few times and he seems chill. Okay. So I agreed to let him stay. My boyfriend and I split the rent equally, but the utilities, renter's insurance, internet are in my name. Everyone's money obsessed here. Now, this is different. This is you with your boyfriend, and I'm fine with the way this is set up so far. The friend currently pays nothing for his own food, except for his own food. Okay, well, he's only supposed to be there for a month. If that's the situation, then okay. It's a month, big deal. If it's gonna be an extended stay, then yeah, you need to have a conversation. The main problem is that his friend has a significant amount of stuff, so much so that I actually had to rent a U-Haul to help him move in. Okay. I'm not used to having so much clutter, even before. Okay, well, here's my issue. If he's going to be out in a month, supposedly, why would he need to unpack all his stuff and put it in there? Just have just the bare minimum stuff, and then he gets a storage space where he can keep the rest of his crap until he finds a new place to move into. You are going to have him here much longer than a month. He's just already fucking moved in. He brought all his stuff. Anyway, I would try to regularly go through my stuff, keep it things so. And you're clean, which is not a bad thing. And he's a bit of a slob. It sounds like. Obviously, I can do that with someone else's belongings. So I asked him to keep most of the things in his room. Unfortunately, the problem extends to the kitchen as well because he gets food from the community kitchen, our cabinets, fridge over the freezer. You need to get rid of this guy. That's your solution. You got to tell him to go. You've been here as soon as you hit a month, even before, be like, listen, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go. Tacoba put food away somewhere organized, but he frequently leaves items out. So he's a pig. I shouldn't say a pig. He's not as clean as you are. And so to you, he seems very slovenly. And he might be. What do I know? When I asked him, he gets defensive. The other day, he confronted me and asked, why do you keep your stuff out, but I have to put mine away? Yeah, I mean, it's your place, but also you might have a point if you're being a pig. Mind you, the items I leave out actually belong on the kitchen counter, such as cutting boards. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I mean, cutting boards get to stay. Cutting boards get to stay. Well, let me roll. I'm missing a lot of these. Oh, Austin Powers. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's true, friendly. I'm the same way with my son. I try so hard to never get angry or do anything, but sometimes I get mad, and I don't think I've ever said anything really bad, but I've certainly gotten mad when I didn't need to, and that bothers me. That loss of control. There was a really cool thing I heard on, get a little philosophical with you. Why not? But Wayne Dyer was talking about, what's inside you. And I'm sorry if you've heard this, but I liked it. It was he talks about an orange. He says, when you squeeze an orange, he asked a little, a kid, he's like, well, what comes out of it? And the kid goes, well, orange juice. And he goes, how come orange juice comes out when you squeeze orange? He goes, that's what's inside. And when it's, so when it's under pressure, you pressurize, orange juice comes out. And he said, that's true of you. What happens when you get squeezed? What happens when you get under pressure and you're squeezed? What comes out of you? Anger, hate, rage. Why? This is what's inside. So I was like, yeah, he's got a point. When I'm squeezed and I'm stressed, if anger's coming out, why is anger coming out? Because it's what's inside. And if I was, more doing better emotionally, which I think I am, then when I'm squeezed, what should come out is love, understanding, acceptance, right? So I was like, okay, maybe I'm not as far along on the journey as I thought I was. Maybe I'm not. What ended? Okay. So we talking about like acne cures? I use Stridex pads, and it just at best it was better than nothing. That's about all I can say. Your P coach said you don't need fancy stuff. Get a bar of soap and washcloth. Yeah, I mean I use that. I had not terrible acne, but I would have bad acne here and there. I would use Stridex pads all the time, but even that sometimes wasn't enough. And I would wash my face pretty well. But there you go. One end of yours was Head and Shoulder shampoo. Highest level of zinc in the shampoo kills bacteria. Oh, okay. Ivory bar soap. Yeah. I mean, we've all had that. I shouldn't say we've all had it. Yeah, friendly, me too. Because friendly, I feel like I'm pretty well adjusted. But then, like, if something happens to me, there are times when I'm like, okay, fine. I'm actually like proud of myself at how chill I am. And then there's times where I'm just like, oh, just rage. I'm like, well, shit. Because I'm like, working on self-improvement. I should be better. But I think being able to recognize that, you're like, okay. So the next time that comes out of you when you're under stress, be like, okay, I need to work on myself a little more. And not justify the rage that just came out, and at the same time, you don't want to be a pushover to anybody, but there's ways to handle things, Yeah. Me, weird film on you too. Yeah. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. Where were we? We got we went to the condone with the roommates. That's right. All right, so you got to kick this guy out. You said a month. Live up to your word. Keep him for a month, and then he's got to go. But the fact that you let him move all your stuff in there, was not a good idea. He got upset and played to my boyfriend, who is now who's now trying to avoid taking sides. Well, that's good. He didn't take his side at least. To his credit, my boyfriend agrees with me that my friend is taking up space. That's good too. That's a good sign as a boyfriend. He's starting to feel cramped with three people. Exactly. However, he also feels that what I said was unnecessarily harsh. Well, you got mad. You were angry, and that's what came out, right? When you got squeezed. And it's building this resentment and this anger. So every time you get squeezed, more of it's going to come out. The person saying with this is because their lease ended in the previous apartment. And I guess the alternative was living with an abusive sister. Well, the alternative is also living with somebody else, besides the abusive sister. What about his family? I realize now that he should have made arrangements to live somewhere else well before his lease was up. Yes. I have no idea how long him and my boyfriend were talking about this before they pitched the idea to me. Probably not that long. Guys, we don't really have a lot of in-depth discussion. Probably said, dude, I'm getting kicked out. Is there any way I could stay at your place? He's probably like, oh, fuck. It's like, all right, but just a month. Okay. And that's probably about the extent of it. Guys don't really have a lot of in-depth. How's your house hunting going? All right. So in the state I live, I cannot legally kick this person out if they show proof of occupancy, which means they have a designated place to sleep. They have all their clothes and belongings here. I told you he shouldn't have let him bring his stuff. And I wasn't even thinking about this whole occupancy thing. He's essentially, now you have a squatter. The most I can do is hand him a 30-day notice to quit. Yeah, do it. And June 15 marks 1 month since he moved in. Give him to June 31st to get out. And if he still doesn't leave by that time, I can file an eviction lawsuit. Yeah, that's what you're going to have to do. Hopefully he'll move out before then because he's friends with your boyfriend, but I don't know. Thank you for all your opinions and advice. I'm too trusting sometimes. The whole situation taught me what does Dave Ramsey call a stupid tax? Not to fall for any old sob story, but I will say my boyfriend did it out of kindness. Yeah, guys, we don't think things through. We're friends with this guy. We've never lived with him or been a roommate with him. And, we drink and we tell stories and we have fun and we like each other and we laugh. You want to live with me for a month? Yeah, okay. I told you a story. I lived with my buddy Steve and Rick for 2 weeks on their couch and then was politely asked to leave. And they actually helped me. They're like, here's this guy. He's an alcoholic, but go live with him. I'm like, okay, And I didn't do myself any favors because I think, they were very nice taking me in. But I didn't do myself any favor. About a week into living with them, I had a friend because I just moved it from Second City. I was in Second City in Detroit and I hated it. And so I quit and I left. I had really no place to live. I really didn't think it through at all. I come to think of it. And then I get back I didn't think it through at all. I think how close I was back then. So I moved in with them for, 2 weeks. I don't know what I did with my stuff, but I didn't have a lot of stuff. First off, I think I kept it in their garage. I kept my stuff in their garage. And then I had my friend Eric come from Detroit because there was some event at Second City in Chicago. And I kind of like crowbarred him, not onto the couch I was, but he's like, I'm living on a couch in an apartment with two guys. I'm like, I got the couch. If you're okay with the floor. And he was such a, he's a kind-hearted guy, but also a big drinker. He's like, yeah, I'll just sleep on the floor. So for 2 days, he slept on the floor. I was on the couch. And I don't think they really cared for that. Like I was subletting. I was subletting their floor. R.I.P. Eric. R.I.P. Steve for that matter. Ay. Too soon on both. Anyway, so there you go. You learned your lesson. I hope. I think you did. I'm going to say you learned your lesson. How about that? All right. Text your wife. Oh, wait. Oh, no, dude. Don't stop drinking. Stop drinking. You got to stop drinking for a while, Salty. You got to stop drinking. Yeah, don't ever ever drunk text your wife. Don't. For Salty. Don't. And the thing is, like, when you're drunk, you want to do it. Don't. Just stay off the go get into a program and get into an AA program or something. Just get clean. Get completely clean. And if you do slip, John will write something on your hand saying, "Don't text your wife." I get it. I get you depressed in text, but it does you no good. You know what I mean? Because it's going to make her angry. Because she doesn't see it as you, like, I love you, and I'm this is like, if you love me, then you wouldn't be drinking, you wouldn't be drunk right now. So you just, as hard as it is, the solution is just don't get drunk for a while. That's the solution. And I know it's easier said than done. And if you do get drunk, just, I don't know, take the battery out of your phone. I mean, you can't really do that these days. But yeah, just turn your phone off. I don't know, man. Just don't get drunk. Drunk texting is its own job. It is. Yeah, nothing good comes of drunk texting that I'm aware of. Unless you got a friend with benefits or something, then maybe something. But even then, like, bad decisions are made. All right, Salty. Yeah, so no more boozing it up, please. Come on, you're doing good. Don't blow it now. All right, listen, everybody. I'm just you messed up. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Listen, I love you all. Salty, stay sober for the love of God. That's my fiance. I'm gonna probably get that. Yeah, you can text. Yes, please text us anytime you want. All right. Well, listen, I'm out. I'm gonna crash. I got an early morning tomorrow. And I did jujitsu tonight, and I don't know. I'm just more tired than usual. I'm getting friggin' older. I'm getting older, man. But have a great evening, everyone. Tomorrow I'm going to try the phones. I'm against my better. I don't know. I'm nervous if I use the Rumble the new Rumble software, because I've had such issues with it. But I'm going to go in tomorrow. We'll do it live, and I'll go in. I'll give it a shot, and we'll see if we can't get the phones working. All right, everyone. Peace, everybody. To you too, Friendly. Thank you, Salty, for tuning in. And it's going to work out, but you got to stay strong. You got to stay sober. Friendly, thank you for tuning in as well. And Mark, of course, as always, thank you, brother. And everybody who turned into the show, God bless you. God bless you all. And yeah, maybe we'll get featured tomorrow. That'd be cool. All right. I'm off. God bless you. Have a great day. And remember, everybody, when you have a problem, I have an answer. I am Jeff, the unlicensed therapist. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow back at 10. Bye.